Okay, so, hey, um, you may be here from Megan's video. Megan F. We done a video together, about my little girl's dad who was, um, he passed away. Oh, he was incarcerated, and a guard, um, was charged for the death. Um, But I just wanted to introduce myself. I've had this channel for a while. I did have 2 videos up. I ended up taking them down. Just very self-conscious. I look like crap right now, but it's been a long day, so. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and introduce myself. My name is Lexi. I'm 24. I live in a really small town in Kentucky. And yeah, I just have a lot of stories that I really want to tell on YouTube. Just get off my chest, and I think a lot of people, or just one person, would relate to the stories. I have a lot more about a lot more details about the story that I've done with Megan. That are just terrible. It's unbelievable, honestly. And I have a lot of stories about like how I grew up and addiction. I am a recovering addict. And like when I was 13, my family doctor wrote me 60 Xanaxes, 0.5 milligrams. So 2 a day, Xanaxes at 13 years old. 11 years later, I still struggle with that. Not as bad as I used to. I used to have, like, because of that, I literally don't remember a huge portion of my teenage years. Like, none of it. Like, I mean, I remember some things that happened, but honestly, like, a lot of it, I do not remember. And then this doctor, after a year or so, I think it was about a year, of writing them to me, he just cut me off. Just cold turkey cut me off. And also, I want to mention, while he was prescribing these Xanax to me, I never had to see a therapist, so he never sent me to see a therapist, a counselor, anybody. So it just wasn't good. And I've needed counseling since then. I go to counseling now for everything. I really want to get into therapy more, though. And honestly, like, YouTube is very therapeutic. When I've done the video with Megan, afterwards I felt so much better because I felt like I got so much off of my chest that I hadn't been able to talk about or, tell anyone about, except for, like, my family, but we don't talk about it much. My daughter, she's 6 now, and it did affect her, even though she was young. She's very smart, and she remembers a lot. So we always do things like for his birthday. We let off balloons, or those the Chinese lanterns. We do things like that. Let her do those like on his birthday and things. But we try not to talk about it as much because we don't death. Like, she had to experience death at such a young age. It scares me. I'm afraid that she's going to have counseling and therapy, and when she gets older, as she gets older. Sorry, my computer is what I'm using for a prop, and it was about to go off, and then it would stop charging. Anyways, excuse me. Sorry. I smoke, so it's a smoker's cough. I'm trying to quit vaping, but now I'm hearing that vaping is worse than smoking, so I don't know what to do. But yeah, I just wanted to make a short video, and I'm trying to think, because I cannot edit, so this will all be in here. I'm trying to think of something, like a little mini story or something I could tell you guys. Well, the doctor thing kind of was, but that, from him doing that, it was like a domino effect. So I have so many stories of things that's happened because of Xanax, and because of being untreated mentally. I was mentally traumatized because this was, okay, I'll tell you the reason that I was put on, even went to the doctor, was because, sorry, I keep looking at this screen instead of in the lens. Okay. The reason that I even went to the doctor was because my dad, he was a police officer. He got in trouble for drugs. I was very young. He got in trouble for that. And then later on, I was still young, but he got in trouble for writing bad checks. He was addicted to methadone and Xanax. Make sure you keep that in mind. It's very important. It's crazy. So he got in trouble for writing the checks, got out of prison. So he was dosing. He was at a methadone clinic, or he got them from a doctor, but he was either way, he was on 180 milligrams of methadone a day, and he was also getting prescribed Xanax. This is just crazy, but he was. And by this time, he had gotten my mom. He had introduced my mom to, medicine, and she became addicted. She was addicted to methadone and Xanax. Like I said, remember that, because it's very important. So my dad, I played basketball at my school here in my town, and I was very good at basketball. I loved basketball, but it all changed. I even won MVP. I was on the radio, or on the news and the radio. But anyways, so my dad dropped me and my friend off at our school because we had a game that day. And he dropped us off and was going back home to pick up my mom because she was still getting ready. And on the way home, he wrecked. It was an elderly man. He had a previous stroke, and I think he may have had a stroke when this happened. I'm not sure, but my dad was intoxicated on 180 milligrams of methadone, maybe even more, I don't know, and a lot of Xanax. He fell asleep at the wheel and swerved, and he ultimately, the other driver, the elderly man, did not survive. So they instantly charged my dad with murder. It got dropped to manslaughter. He got 15 years, had to serve 10 flat, but he took some classes and things, and he done 9 years. And he got out just a couple of months before Kyle passed away. So he was out when that happened. But so when my dad went to prison for that, my anxiety just went from 0 to 1,000,000. And I mean, I could not control it. My mom moved in with me, with my grandmother, because that's who had been taking care of me and raised me, my grandmother and my 2 aunts. So she moved back in with us, and my anxiety was horrible. She could not go anywhere. She literally couldn't go to the bathroom because I would always say, I feel like I'm dying. I feel like I'm dying, and I really don't know what it was, but I always had this constant feeling that I was going to pass out. I don't know what it was, and then I would start, it just got worse. So I would, like, she could not go anywhere. So she took me to the doctor, a family doctor, and because he tried to talk to her separately, and I freaked out, and he seen what happened. So that's when he wrote me the Xanax. Honestly, I think it was a poor choice. I don't think he should have tried something not a narcotic straight off. He should have, in my opinion, tried something else, another medication that wasn't a narcotic and an antidepressant. But anyways, he went straight for the Xanax, and that's what he gave me. I literally do not remember much because I was taking them. My mom was also taking them. She was prescribed Xanax from the same doctor. So there's a lot. There's so much. But yeah, it caused a lot of problems. A lot of problems for me. And to this day, I still have problems that they're problems because of what happened when I was 13. That I got those prescribed to me, and I don't want to blame my mom for allowing him to prescribe them to me. She was an addict at the time, and I used to blame her, but I don't anymore because I'm in recovery now. But when I wasn't, I would always blame my mom every time, and my dad. I still have a lot of issues with my dad, but it's just a shitstorm, honestly. But my mom, yeah, I don't blame her, and I don't want anyone to, say anything mean. I mean, I know there will be people that will, and I know that was the wrong choice, and she knows that, but like I said at the time, like, she was an addict, and it was bad. My anxiety was bad, and they did help me, but I took them, and now I can't remember a lot of things, like years of my life. I can't remember, I had to drop out of school at 13 years old, 13 or 14, because of because of taking the Xanax, or before I took the Xanax, they put me on homebound because I couldn't go to school. There was no way I could go to school. I couldn't leave my mom's side, and literally, she couldn't take a shit. So, there's no way. So, they put me on homebound, and I eventually just dropped out. I did get my GED when I was 16, I think. 16 or 17. So, yeah, I'm glad I was able to do that. But it was a lot. And then I met Kyle, and it got crazy from there. I had some really scary, funny, crazy stories. But yeah, so sorry this is 13 minutes long, but I just wanted to introduce myself, and I want to upload more. If you guys, if whoever's watching would like to hear any stories, any story times, just let me know. Or if you have any certain questions like you want me to answer, I will. Any suggestions are welcome, because I really, really want to make this, make videos and do this. It makes me feel so much better. I really like ASMR too. I just got into it like a week ago, but I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you're still here, I'm sorry if I'm boring. But yeah, please, if you are watching this, subscribe or like, or just leave a comment. Let me know, if you would like to see more videos, or just what you would like to see. So, I guess I'll end it here. So, thanks for watching, and I hope you come back to watch again. Bye.